Welcome. And today, actually, this very morning, we started with a scripture reference in the morning and teaching my daughter, and she recited it, and it made my heart melt. And it's as simple as, whenever I'm afraid, I will trust in you. I will trust in God. And I know that so many times when we are in the middle of the storms, when we are shaking, when things are upside down and we don't understand ourselves, in those moments we don't know who to trust. But I believe that if you can trust in the Lord enough to let him guide your way and acknowledge his ways, he'll be able to take you through it. And that is why we are here today, to acknowledge the fact that we are human beings. We go through a lot. Like we've been doing mental health series, we have done bipolar, we have done different disorders, and it has been quite informing and eye-opening, and so many of you have related to this kind of content and said that, you know what, I went through the same. I think I need more information about this. Can you refer me to someone? Can I meet someone? Can I consult someone? So that means so many of you have decided to take on healing journeys when it comes to the kind of shows that you watched and the kind of information and the guests that we brought. So today is also a special day. We have one and only Akibs Ronnie. And Akibs, he's a man known for many things, but I'll let him introduce himself. But we are so glad to have him, because as we share in his story, I know that it's going to be inspiring, motivating, and eye-opening at the same time, to know that we are not alone. We are struggling with many things, but again, there is victory at the end of the tunnel. Yes, Akibs.
Yes.
Oli bulungi. Though when you say that bw'ogattengulu n'oluganda lw'oyogera, they do not tebikwatagana kwa. I don't know whether wali okiwuliddeko.
Yes, a couple of times abantu bangamba mbu njogerera ddala ng'omusajja omuganda. I think a city.
Even the looks, like I don't know. Just that maybe we just get used to seeing you.
That and also ndi musajja mutabule.
Okay.
Yes, my grandmother in the west.
Okay.
Yes, yali mukyala nga ava in the west.
So west and north.
Yes. Yes, my grandmother.
So, what is that about migration?
I don't know how it came about. I don't know how it came about.
I know. But here you are.
Yes, here I am. Here I am.
Yeah, so just say hi to us and just tell us, who is Akibs?
Yes. Hello viewers. My name is Ronnie Akibs. Ndi musajja mulango banzala a Leptong district. But I was raised in Entebbe. Yes, I was raised in Entebbe.
Okay.
We moved from place to place until we went back to the north.
Okay.
Then Ningamba,
let me just come back. Let me do urban migration
yes,
again.
So I'm a social worker by calling.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a social worker by calling, though I have done very many things, very many other things that are not in line with my profession and all that.
Okay.
Yes, so
that is who
who I
you
am.
are. Okay,
Yes.
family man, affiliation.
Yes, I am a family man.
Okay.
I have two very handsome sons.
Oh.
Yeah, very handsome sons. Yes, Jebaliyeyo.
Wow. Yeah, so now what we do is we talk about life as it is. Yes. Life can be lifing so many times, and sometimes it causes us to doubt ourselves, to second guess ourselves. But again, when we hear of vivid stories and vivid things that people have gone through, we take heart sometimes. And sometimes we are even, you know, that have you ever seen someone, or have you ever watched a very bad story and you're like, I am better. Like, no, I've not reached to that extent. So I want to know your life growing up. How was it? You say you went back and came back to town. On coming back to town, you're alone, you're figuring out life, you're starting life. How was the life?
Well, I'll start from the very beginning. I'm raised in a family of four.
Okay.
Yeah, of four. So, and we're only boys.
Order of birth?
I am the firstborn, by God's grace.
Okay.
Yes, I'm the firstborn. So I'm raised in a family of four. My sister passed on, so I don't count her.
No.
Yeah, she would have made the fifth. Yeah. So, like I said earlier on, I'm born in Aleptong. My dad lives at Leptong, then he comes to Entebbe, starts life, and then life was good. I come from a very humble background. So life was good. Life was good until along the way, my dad felt like, you know what? I think it's time. Let me look for greener pastures.
Okay.
So he travels out of the country, you know, to go and try
Yeah,
and
look
make
for-
a living. You know, try and raise his small family and all that. So and things were very good. I studied in some of the best schools. Olamu ne bunyuma nga nkula awo ne bunyumira ddala. As you know, abaana bato along the way I get influenced. Yeah. Not that I was a bad boy doing drugs or all that.
But
Just-
influenced.
Yes, influenced. But because, you know, life was really good. Life was really good.
Comfortable.
Yes, very comfortable. Nga tusigaza maama yekka ewaka, you know, and being boys.
Temufugibwa nnyo.
Tetufugibwa,
Omukwano
tetugambibwa,
weeguli.
omukwano weeguli.
Pampering.
And, you know, and all that. And I love this thing about my mom and myself that nga I make sure nkeera ku makya nenkola buli kimu ekiwaka emirimu gyonna ekiwaka, you know, so nandekera liberty.
She lets you go.
Yes, nandekera liberty. But the one thing that I also know about myself till date, nina curfew wange.
Okay.
Nina
So
curfew
you
wange.
control
Yes,
yourself.
I control myself. I don't go beyond certain hours outside. Either when we are out, I feel like, okay,
This is it.
this is it. But ne bwebange badde enyuma etya nzirayo ewaka.
Okay.
Bamanyi. So time came while I was in high school, and then I started getting influenced by friends here and there. Nekintikka lumu nendya fees. Naye fees mukumulya sinti nagenda ne mu spending oba kiki. Kyatandika mpola nga ndi mu class siina pen.
And you bought a pen
I went and bought a pen.
from the school fees.
From the school
That means
fees.
now you can't pay. You have to wait.
I can't pay. I have to wait.
Nga bw'oziryako mpola mpola.
I have to wait banyongere sente. Bampe sente ze bampanga bulijjo ez'okulya breakfast ku ssomero.
Ozitopingeko.
Ntopingeko. Now it's funny. Sitani alina engeri gy'akolamu ebintu bye. Tebampa sente.
Okay.
Tebampa sente for about a couple of days. Nga ngenda nzitoolako nziryako mpola mpola.
Wow.
Ngenda okudda engulu nga sente nziridde almost nziriddeko quarter. They call my dad and tell him mutabani wo ayingiddemu emize.
And they exaggerate at that point. Eh?
Yes. Now let me give you a brief background. I come from a very big family. My grandfather had 11 known wives.
Okay.
Yes, yali
Polygamous,
chief.
yeah.
Yali chief back then. So ababrito ne bamuwanga abakyala kuba yakolanga bulungi ne bamuwa amamotoka and all that.
N'abakyala.
N'abakyala, yes. Yali musajja
Haki ze yazifunira ku nsi.
yazifuna ku nsi. So kati nga bw'omanyi polygamous families mubeeramu obuntuntu obwo.
The fights,
Yes,
the
fights and
wrangles.
all that, yes. So omusajja yagenda n'afa n'alekawo abakyala be.
All the 11.
Yes, all the 11 wives. These 11 were the known
Ebirabo
wives.
bye.
Were the known ones. Kati waliwo obunene obw'ebbali
Obwo.
bwe bataamanyanga.
Babuyita batya?
Simanyi bwe buyita. So my uncles start feeding my dad with information.
Okay.
Omwana ayonoonese, ajoinize groups embi, anywa enjaga.
Wrong information.
Very wrong information.
You just bought pens and
I
you
just
ate
bought pens
money.
and
You ate
and
break.
some sumbusas, yes.
And the fees.
The fees went like that. Mpoziko ne kyenayigako nagendako mu kibanda.
And watched movies.
Nendabako ku movies.
And it was prohibited.
Yes, very much, very much. Kati mzee nga atabuka. Nga tutabuka mba ndi waka wande nga sigenze ku ssomero nga bangobye. Mama zikira namugamba olubuto lunnuma.
But you didn't tell her that you ate the fees.
No, I didn't tell her. Kati nga basindika mba ndi waka maze n'okulongoosa ntaddeko ebijanjalo byatokose dda. Ngenda okulaba mama akonkona. Yagendanga okukola ku makya ku luno yakomyewo nga bukyali zaali ssaawa 5 era. Ng'akonkona ng'ayingira mu nnyumba nga ndaba ajjiddeko omusajja omulala. Nga baŋŋamba Ronnie ogamba otya oli bulungi nga tewasomye leero. Ng'amba naze okusenga erinnyo linnuma.
Olwo kyavudde ku lubuto kati linnyo.
Kati linnyo. Nga ŋŋamba okay jangu nga ntuula nga tugenda ku piki nga ŋŋamba tugende ku kliniki bakoleko enkero ekyokole ki ogende ku ssomero nga ntuula ku piki banvuga kliniki esooka bagiyitako eyokubiri bagiyitako
ng'olwo bakutwala wa? Tonamanya.
Nzija sinnamanya ntudde kati ngamba ngabo clinic tuyiseko ngabo 3 so far ngamba tugenda ku main hospital grade B eri Entebbe ngamba kale tugende ngaba mvuga piri ngambuzo naye kiki ngamutudde wakati mama atudde ku piki ndala omusajja antudde emabega bavuganga buno obupichi buno obutono bwa ready tutuddeko babiri nze n'omusajja mama atudde ku piki eyo endala tutuuka nga ndaba basibira ku police station ngambuuza ogenda tusomwa kuteekeko empingo ngamba ate empingo zaaki tokyasoma bagatuwadde tokyasoma era kati ogenda tubuulira kiki natandika okuvaamu omugambo sente nagulamu peeni
nendyako sumbuusa n'ekibanda
ne baŋŋamba nfukamire empaniko emikono nenfukamira ne bampayo punishment awo kati muzeeyi yanyiiga nnyo being the first born yalabira ddala nga nsiga ensigo embi
with the
in my siblings nanyiiga nnyo so nasasula fees ne bantwala ndi kusomero after the police station banfuga ne bantwala ku ssomero netuuka ku ssomero ndi muleeya ne bantwala mu maaso ga assembly bayita n'assembly ne bantwala ne banfukamiza mu maaso g'abaana ne baŋŋamba nsabe ekisonyiwo ne nsaba maama ekisonyiwo ne bamugamba nkube kati bamaama omanyi you raise a child with love yankubayo bubiri ne bamugamba
oba wokka katumukukubire
katumukuweere bankubanga abaali bakuba omubbi third term fast forward third term neggwako muzeeyi nanyiiga nnyo he was very disappointed in me and he was hurt. I could tell he was hurt and to make matters worse he had joined the military so he was in the military serving in another country kati punishment zenayitangamu kati
military
kali zaali military bwe yanyiiga ennyo nga nsitula ntwala mu kyalo bwantwala mu kyalo it was December I remember the dates vividly like it was yesterday bwantwala mu kyalo ntuuka it was 19th December 2006
you've left your mother and
I've
siblings
left my
in
mother
town
and siblings this side ntuuka mu kyalo ewaffe now I come from a Leptong if you've heard about John Akibwa the late he's my uncle biological uncle yeah so I reached in the village on 19th December nga ntuukira wa anti wange mukyala wa uncle wange nga baŋŋamba genda obeere paka bw'odda mu order then we bring you back to Kampala tuuka 19th on the 23rd nga mpulira olubuto lunyoola December remember Christmas is just a few
days
okutuuka mpulira olubuto lunyoola nga baŋŋamba kiki naye jjajjaffe yayinanga omuzee ng'akugamba kati kyetugenda okukola nkusalira embuzi nkusalira embaata enkoko oba tukutemera ente she had that thing with her grandchildren nga kyosaba kyakuwa bw'oba otuuse because of course it's a big family and they have money nga ngamba sewulira bulungi olubuto luno lunyoola now in the village people have this belief I don't know whether it has happened in your village nti owulira abantu nga bakoona zituka ssaawa ng'emu babbiri owulira abantu bakoona amasepiki bidomola kiki nga eringa wave eyitawo ng'empewo bweti ng'egenda kati nga baŋŋamba mbu bagoba mizimu egireeta obulwadde biki babigoba bigende kati nga baŋŋamba kwata ekidomala naye fuluma ebweru okube bigende baŋŋamba nze ndi musajja mulokole
you were already Christian by then
I got born again in 1997 since then till date I have never yes so nga bagamba nze besibikiririzaamu naye kaneebakewo I didn't eat from the time I arrived paka so on the first omukyala eyali ampadde yampoisoningira namu nkoko
they had poisoned you like immediately you arrived on the 19th
yes on the 19th
someone poisoned
someone poisoned me that evening she poisoned me but I didn't realize it I get to know after I'm going to get there so on the 1st of January yali mulimi nga afuna emmotoka nga atikka kasooli kati ewaffe teri taxi mpoziko kati nga bazireese naye waffe teri taxi so emmotoka zino ezitwala ebintu bezitwala abantu mu butale
Fuso, kanta.
kanta yes single cabin double cabin zeziriyo kuba zireeta produce abafe balimi nnyo ng'atikka nga bamugamba Ronnie mulwadde mutwale ki mu ddwaliro bagamba kale ngenda kumutwala
naye nga yeyo yennyini
nga ye yennyini
ye yakuwadde
ye yampadde she escapes and leaves me yatikka kasooli owwe n'atambula n'agenda mu town Lira kati bagamba tubadde tunoonya wano eno anti wo naye akoze eki agenze kati kyogenda okukola lindako enkya tujja kukola ki
naye nga oli bubi owulira obulumi
nga bintwala ng'olutwe lutandise okuzimba then I started becoming very pale and ng'olutwe lukaluba nnyo nnyo kati ngambuuza naye kikiddala ekigenda mu maaso ate omukyalo nga bwe bamanyi with their beliefs and all that baŋŋamba the superstitions nga bansunako baŋŋamba tukutwala ew'omukyala akola ki
awahabo
nga bantwala ew'omukyala nga bantuuza kagaali maanyi ga kifuba naye nga eggaali ne bwekoona mu kannya katono kati ampulira ng'ejjinja eriri mu lubuto nga likoona nga banvuga bantwalayo omukazi ng'atandika okunsunaasuna bwansuna bw'ati ng'alaga nti aggyeemu amayinja mu lubuto naddamu nansuna ne ŋŋamba bino bya bulimaze sibikiririzaamu nga banvuga bankomyawo ewaka on the second jjajjange ŋŋampa omutwalo tetunagamba muzeeyi wange kigenda mu maaso ne maama tetunamutegeeza kiki ekigenda mu maaso
yakuwadde punishment
yansindise mu kyalo
bakuwiriddeyo okutwa tewali amanyi
tewali amanyi kati enkeera banteeka kagaali era maanyi ga kifuba banvuga bantwala mu kasenta nga nninda emmotoka mwalimu abakyali nabo baali batwala kasooli nga nnyimiriza emmotoka nga ngituula emabega jjukira bwe ntuula ku kagaali ne bwe kaba kagaali ne bwe nkoona mu kannya katono bwe kati mpulira obulumi okufa nga ntandise okukogga ensinga ewanvu ye nga ntuula kati baba bavuga abakazi nga bawulira amalowoozi gava emabega nga ndi mukaaba bitya mugamba naye ono gwe twaleese kulakyakaaba kulakyakuba omulanga nga bayimiriza emmotoka bambi one of the mothers nga mpa ekifo kyekyo mu maaso nga ntuula mu maaso nga banvuga ntuuka mu Lira mu bus park kuba ffe waffe tetwawula bus park ne taxi park zonna zipakingamu nga natuuka ssaawa zaali 9 tuuka mu bus park kyenakola naggulawo omulyango nengwa wansi awo nga sikyasobola sirina maanyi gavaawo nengwawo wansi I don't know what happened nazuuka ku ssaawa 11 nga bansudde bantadde kabalaza nga one of my cousin brothers jjajjaffe yajjukira ne bamukubira essemu ne bamugamba twasindise Ronnie mu tawuni ajje jangu omukime kati nga jankima mu paaka nga ntwala ewa one of my aunties
si mu ddwaliro
si mu ddwaliro one of my aunties nga bwantwalayo ntuukayo kati anti wange oyo nina stories nyingi sister nga we yafa mu 2000 nensigalayo Erira nabagamba nze njagala sigalayo era nakaaba nnyo nga njagala kubeera kumpi n'entaana ya sister wange nakaaba nnyo tatange nagamba kale sigala somera wano omwezi gumu taamu emu tujja kukola ki tujja kukima anti wange nagamba ndoza yali afunye opportunity amuyambako ntandika okubeerewa anti wange yampisa bubi nnyo kati bwe navaayo nenkomawo e Kampala neŋŋamba siriddayo ewuwe kati daba ate
gwe bakututte ate ng'oli mulwadde
ne bantwalayo ewuwe bwe bantwalayo ewuwe yagamba kimu oyo omwana bwe yali ewaabwe mama waabwe tabaliisa bulungi she doesn't feed them well that is why kati yazze eno n'afuna ebyokulya n'alya kati just ebigenda
bimuyisa bubi
bijja genda
imagine
bamugamba kati one of my aunties from my mom's side nakwata boda n'agenda ewa anti wange nagamba naye n'omulenzi omanyi kamutwaleko enkya mu ddwaliro natuuka mu ddwaliro enkeera nga sikyalya all these days siri mu kulya naye bwe nnywa mbizza bwe twatuuka mu ddwaliro yalina connections yawo mu ddwaliro speed muntu ayogera nnyo muntu w'abantu ng'ayogera nabo nga bantwala bankolako scan bwe bankolako scan nga bamugamba ono yeetaaga surgery as soon as yesterday enkeera nga bategeka banteekateeka ku listi mu ddwaliro balina procedures zaabwe nti abantu bagenda okoperatinga ku Lwokuna listi bagifulumya leero so that abalwadde ne beekola ki ne babateekateeka ne balongoosa so enkeera bantwala mu theatre.
Ng'oli wa myaka emeka olwo?
2006. Yes, 2006. Nga nkuze.
So tewali akubira dadi, tewali amugamba?
Nga kati batandika omukubira. Bamukubira bagamba yalidde just ebintuntu biri awo naye agenda kutereera ajja kuba bulungi. Bwedduka mu ddwaliro nga story endala nga anti wange agamba naye amanyi abantu awo tusooke tubeesonyiwe tukole ekyaffe.
Ab'omu ddwaliro? Anti
wange owokusaidia maama wange ngagamba abantu abo tubeesonyiwe tukole ki ebyaffe. Nga bantwala mu theatre ssaawa 3 ez'okumakya.
Nga dadi yakonsentinze?
Yes. Nga bakubidde mami naye actually mami yakonsentinga. Mami yakonsentinga nga bantwala mu theatre ku ssaawa 3 ez'okumakya.
Nga bagamba ba operatinga kyekyo? Nga
bagamba nina intestinal obstruction then ne poisoning. Bwe bantuusa mu theatre nga olubuto oluzimbi lutya nga lunene nga nze nankoze mwezi ennaku entono nga nfuuse pale owa black ng'omuntu era agenda ali obubi ennyo nga bannongoosa from ssaawa 3 mu theatre navaayo ssaawa 1 ey'ekiro nga bankomyawo nga baŋŋamba asooka abeera awo kati bamala okunnongoosa nga ndi mu ward nsula mu ward mbeeramu after ennaku 5 nga banzigyamu stitches nga bansiibula nga tugenda ewaka bwe bannongoosereza baŋŋamba nti mu kyenda kyange kyali kyonoonese nga bakisala
ne
bakigatta kati nga bansiibula nga banziggyako stitches bansiibula olunaku lwe bansiibulirako olwo abantu abali bava mu convention emmotoka ne basuula ne bafa abantu baali awo baali bangi so they got admitted. Ntuuka ewaka obulamu butandise okukomawo omubiri gutandise okukomawo after 1 week, second week nga bwe mba ngenda emmanju mpulira obulumi bwe mba mpisa omusolo mpulira obulumi gamba naye anti omanyi seewulira bulungi sooke tukole ki tudde oba infection sooke tuddeyo mu ddwaliro nga tuddayo mu ddwaliro tutuuka mu ddwaliro nga bantwale neera mu scan bakola scan nga bagamba ali bubi nnyo ono tulina neera okuddamu tumubaage buto.
Like that wound became septic?
I think it did. Chayononeka, yes. Kati nga munda nga pass mungi nga banzizaayo kambe bambaaga buto bwe bambaaga buto nga bankolako nga mbeera mu ddwaliro bansala. I was operated, let's say today. The next day doctors went on strike. We were operated 6 of us from our ward, from our ward generalimu. Ate fenna ne bateeka mu room emu nga bw'ono olaba line obutanda
mu general
ward yes obutanda enkeera ba doctors ne bagenda mu strike. I'm telling you this for real, for sure.
Ng'ebyembi binajja
nga bitabuse
kwegamba things collide.
We were operated 6 of us. The 6 of us.
Jukira yours is even a second time surgery.
People died. People died. Abantu bafa mu wadi yafa abantu bafa mwana mu 7 in a span of 24 hours.
Because there were no doctors.
There were no doctors, there were no nurses. Even these training nurses tebaliyo. People died. Ebyembi bebinaaba bibaawo. People died nga bafa mu section eyange baafa okuva ku koona nga bajja bajjirira ndi mu nsonda eno nga bajjirira ne bawummuzaamu owaawo we yafa kusanga nga 11 nzijukira nazo nga baleesa omusajja mukazi we yamukubya akakumbi. He didn't last an hour n'afa ne tuddayo mu series zaffe naddako n'afa. I remember vividly like it happened yesterday. I told my mom.
Must have been very.
Your
mom had traveled then?
Yes, she had traveled.
Oh, that
she was around. Nemugamba nzala bikagenda okuddako. Naye tuve wano. tuve wano. But I thank God for one nurse. She's called Sister Rebecca. She was called Sister Rebecca then.
In Lira?
In Lira, yes.
Wow.
I have looked for her till date, simufunanga. Ira paka kati nchamunonya Sister Rebecca. Nga aja, she would sneak in, nga yambadde leya, najja nakebera ku kiwundu kyange,
nakuwa eddagala.
nampa eddagala, nampisaako, nafuluma n'agenda.
Wow.
Nafuluma
Wasn't
n'agenda.
that like an angel?
It was. Because I've looked for her till date.
Wow.
I can't find her. Ate ekizibu kati erinnya nzijukirako
Rebecca
lyokka. Ngajja n'andabirira n'akebera ku, because by then baali bakozesa ewuzi ez'okugyamu zino ezihealingiramu nga teziriiwo. So ngajja neŋŋamba maama omanyi tufulume tugende. Kubanga gozi yamalangamu 4 days, babagamba libalikutte, so nga basala ne basika ne bajjamu.
Nga tebakusanyalaza nakusa.
Nga tebakusanyalaza. Nga tebakusanyalaza. Yeah, so after 4 days saalinda nakunsiibula nze. Bwe nagamba maama mbu tugende nga tukaaba nga nkoze bitya.
Nenga ogamba sifiira wano. Sinze nzirako.
Sigenda kuddako naye tugende. So I told her agenda booking a bus. Nagamba bus tebezibookinga batwala aliwo. Batwala aliwo. So nga I remember
ngolonga muddawa
nga mugamba tukomewe Kampala ngagamba tukomewo nga mama wana nagamba bano nsigenda muleka kufiire ngamba tuddeyo Kampala kyeyakola nga nkwata nga tufuna boda y'eggaali bisere wali wakyali boda nakati zikyaliyo naye ntono nga banteeka ku boda y'eggaali teyasota nakusota I escaped mu ddwaliro nga nkyayinako kannomo saline
ng'olaba
nga katambula, yes, nga katambula
n'ogenda nako
ne tutuuka mu park nali nyambadde night dress ez'abakyala
ebyembi bisekerwa
ez'abakyala nanvuga ne bantwala ku park ntweyogera n'omusaabaze yali atudde ku mupiira kuba effect y'okushakinga ebeera ntono bw'oba otudde ku mupiira bwe baŋŋamba, but I have come to experience it as well. The effect ebeera ntono ku muntu ayina obulwadde bw'otuula directly ku mupiira, the effect ebeera ntono obeera ku shocks. Nga twogera n'omusaabaze yali atuddewo
mugamba mutuwe baba amagezi
ne bandaba nga ndina akanomo saline kange era twakawanika we bateeka courier.
Omulwadde atolose mu ddwaliro
nga ndi mu gown. It was a transparent gown.
Naye ng'ogamba tuveewo
wano. So ne tulinnya baasi ne tujja e Kampala ne nkomawo. Naye nekitampisa bulungi ekintu ekyo, the whole experience and all that. Nkuze in a family where abasinga, I know people out there, the very people who can relate. Most times tubeera mu families where the father's side abaana bababeera ku kitono nnyo. In most times it's the mother's side
ebeera ku baana. Yes, that's true. So, and did you ever find out why this happened?
Yes. Teyazala, she yafa recently during COVID 2021 nga tazadde. Bagamba nti bazadde baffe paka na leero kiriwo ekintu ekyo bagamba nti our parents are proud of their children.
Okay.
Beewana nti balina abaana banyirira, balina abaana balungi.
So that was all envy.
Yes, it was envy.
That is all.
It was envy, yes.
Like no one did anything to her?
No.
Nothing.
No.
Just you keep praising that you have good stuff. So
actually, you don't even praise. But ugenda mchalo tweyagala. I'm one person who will hug and peck my mom, whether who is where, whether where. I'll hold my mom's hand. Kati ate tunulirizo gamba we are siblings. Yeah. So
they're like
so she had that thing. Kati auntie wangono, she's just married into the family. To my dad's.
Not even part of the family.
No, she's not part of the
just
family.
Married into the
yes,
family.
Just married into the family.
And you come with your own envy.
Yes.
You fight your own battles.
Yes.
That is so weird.
Yes. So I get to know after. Kubanga when nasemba okulya. Mmotoka sitera kulya mbwe mba traveling. I don't like eating. Yeah. So when nasemba okulya naye kenyini yakyogera after. After.
But after getting to know all that, because it leaves an effect on your life.
It does.
What did it? What went on in your mind?
You see, I'm human being, merely human. You know, a lot of thought and process goes into my mind. I'm like, but I thank God.
Because you could have lost your life.
I could have. I could have.
I know. In the passing, without
yes.
even your parents knowing,
Yes,
all they
yes.
could have told them is so and so is no
Yes,
longer.
Yes. Now, if it was a fast killing one.
No, just imagine even the redundancy.
Yes.
Of not getting treatment in time. Definitely most villages, that's exactly what happens. But you're in the wrong place at the wrong time with a wrong with an attack on your life.
Yes.
And the devil just claims people's lives
Yes.
just like that.
Yes. I'm sure very many people have gone in such a way.
Ngate wali na mutu chayenza kuogerako.
Yes, ngate wali. So out of the 6 operated people, I'm the only survivor.
Wow.
Yes, I'm the only survivor.
And that can only be God.
It can only be God. So we kept on, you know, but I thank God that along the way, I get to listen to sermons, I get to talk to people about it and all that. I got to forgive her. I forgave her because I have a very small heart to keep a very big person.
I know.
Big person in it.
Yeah.
But I still had this thing with my dad. Walumzei wange yankuba ngatanagenda yankuba. Mwezo gamba.
Nchakuba mubbi.
Mwezo gamba akuba mubbi.
Did he have like anger issues? Like what was happening? Why was he this angry?
There is an effect that
as a child, maybe you're not privileged to know what is behind the scenes, but maybe the few things you could have seen.
My dad had anger issues, I would say. I would say he had anger issues, and growing up from a family tebamwagala nyuchiri yawo and all that, tebakwatagana, tebalina muntu mukulu abagata and all that. He had anger issues. Yeah, he had anger issues, and there must have been a lot going on. But started life on his own.
Started his own family.
But card box.
No mattresses, nothing.
No mattress, no nothing. A single room.
He was willing to start all over again.
Yes.
That's how bad it was.
Yes, that's how bad it was.
Because it sounds like someone just ran away, did not even prepare himself. That this is where I'm going, I have a family, so I need to prepare myself.
A friend connected him to come to Kampala. Na muleta, kabino byonoleetwa omuntu n'atuuka eno neweechanga. Ogamba tebiriyo n'akoleka n'atandika kuyiriba. When he stabilized, ngafunye room wasula, ayina baganda be mwebali banene, but
he didn't seek help.
Baliyo manya, baliyo just names and all that.
Not actual help.
No. So najja natandika bibye, bwe yatereera muko n'atuleeta. Bw'atuleeta nga tutandikirawo mpola mpola. Things got better by the day. And life was good.
So the time that he sends you to the village, because I can only imagine, had anything bad happened, he would have blamed himself.
Yes.
Did he say anything about it?
Of
course, they don't sound remorseful. Even when, by the way, they feel it, sometimes they never say it. But sometimes you can feel like, there's a bit of okwejusa. I wish I had not done this.
Now, I have something that relates to that. Now, recently, I lost my dad last year.
Sorry.
And I could tell he regrets each and every moment of his life. Because as the person attending to him the entire time to his last minute, it is again that by the time he took his last breath, in that period, he kept on telling me, don't leave me. Tondeka.
That's what he said.
Yes, I feel life is easier
with you
when
around.
I'm seeing you.
Wow.
That is what he would tell me.
Wow.
So
that means a lot.
Yes, it does. So when that happened, all those series, all those things, you know, the punishments and all that,
of course.
It's
for your good.
Yes, it's actually now that when you grow up, you're like, okay,
he meant well.
Yes, he meant well. Though,
he wanted me to turn out.
Yes, though the methods weren't really
cruel.
they were very
cruel.
Yeah. So I get, you know, I get to hold this anger and grudge you know, against him. Nga tachimanyi. Nga tachimanyi. Nga wono chawo omuntu.
Tochimubulidde?
Tomulaga. Just
when you're around him, you behave like a normal child. Yes. Naye nga muli munda uchirina.
Yes. So bwe yakomangawo, I have a home in Kampala. Now we had a home in Entebbe. Naye bwe twadde eri, the home was done away with. So the home was in Lira. Kati nze alina amaka in Kampala. Bw'ajja Kampala ng'azze ku office oba ng'alina by'ayagala okujja okukola ajja n'abeera ewange. Naye if he comes and stays at mine, when I come back from work, it is good evening, Dad, good evening, Ronnie, how are you today, how did the day go? And that is it.
Like you didn't have any
no conversation, we have no connection whatsoever.
So it must have felt tense.
Yes, it is his grandchildren that at least talk to him. You find them playing cards and laughing and all that. Naye nze naye nga tuyinza okutuula mu ddiiro oba ku balcony netwetunuulira netwebuuzaako how was the day, nemubuuza naye oba kino nakikola otya, buuza okay bigenda bitya or stuff like that. Naye tetulina mboozi yatugatta eri awo.
Because means there was a trench in between over time.
Yes, there was really a huge hole between, a huge gap.
So do you feel like by the end of his life, at least there was a bit of easiness that came?
Yes, because when he came back in 2021 to stay permanently here. Now when he comes back in 2022, he becomes ill. Obulwadde bujjanga byakusaaga mpola mpola. So I was like, you know what, jangu e Kampala obeereko kumpi nange tulabe ekyokukola. So musajja yali musajja mujeemu. Musajja mujeemu bw'asalawo aba asazeewo.
Ayagala kwerabirira, ayagala to burden another person.
N'obukulu n'emyaka ekyo. So after some time ngakkiriza he comes around. Now when he comes around nga mutwalako mu ddwaliro, amalwaliro ag'enjawulo, they run tests and all that. So he gets diagnosed with TB. So I'm like, okay, now that since ekyo tukikutte nina abaana abato, mutabani wange omuto ennyo alina emyaka ena tosobola kubeera kumpi naye. However, genda for omwezi gumu bw'omirira eddagala ojja kuba oteredde nga tokyasobola kutransmittinga, then you can do what, you can come back. Yes. So nakkiriza n'agenda. Bwe yajja mu mwezi gumu, I wake up, I go to work as usual. Ngendako mu kisenge ne mukonkona ne mubuuza how are you and all that, and life nga ngamba ndi mu kutereera just effect ya ddagala. So nga ngenda ku mulimu. Lumu mba ndi ku mulimu nga baŋŋamba kusooka okomewo waka muzeeyi kiri bubi. Nga nziruka. I called my family doctor nga mugamba sooka ogendeko ewaka bangamba muzeeyi kitabuse. Ng'agenda ewaka nga musanga running a CBC. Okumutunulako mu kibatu bwe nti he was all pale. He was very pale. Nga ne bwemukwatako skin bw'ati. That night kusanga musanvu nagivuganga mulalo ne tugenda Emmengo ku ddwaliro. Okutuukayo, yes, okutuukayo nga bagamba mbu HB was 2.5. Webeera very low. Omuntu alina kubeera between 12 paka ku 16 and all that, but he had only 2.5.
That's why the skin was that.
Yes, the skin was pale. So he gets transfused a couple of units, and then after a few days he comes back home. Kati abaana bange bwe bawummula, because I was also taking care of our last born. Ngamba ewo ina abantu bangi. Let me first do what? Let me first go back. Bwe baddayo ku ssomero nkomewo. Bumutwala teyadda. Nga nkubira essimu aŋŋamba omanyi. Tebandabirira wano eno. Because ewange bwe yalingawo I make sure
food comes in time.
Yes, food comes in time. He takes his meds in time. Mwanabuwi, the medicine and all that, everything I take care of him. Kati bwe yaddayo mu kyalo nga teri muntu akola bintu ebyo. Ne maama naye mukulu tasobola kudduka wano eno bwe bityo. Namugamba omanyi kanzije. At the peak of last year, I told myself, let me get out of employment. I'm tired of building people's empires. Let me do something for myself. So I started a business early last year. So the business was doing really good. I was selling ladies' clothing in downtown.
Okay.
Yeah, I was selling ladies' clothing.
I was about to ask you.
Yeah.
That looks like it's a lucrative business.
It was doing good, really good. It was really good. So I closed shop.
But that's something you had talked about for quite some time.
Yes, yes. I closed shop and then I ran because I didn't want to leave someone there. So I closed shop and ran to go and take care of him. Yali agendedde olunaku olumu nga wiiki eweze njikubye wali eri mba ndi awo weeks ebbiri ziweze nga mugamba manyi dad I have a family I need to run back to. I also have a business, a baby that I just started that I need to at least attend to. It was around May. It was around May. As you know, when your person is sick, yes, when your person is sick, people keep coming up with ideas. People keep telling you this and that, this and that. And it's like, no. So we take time together, we talk. Kati nga ngamba ayagala mbeere kumpi naye tayagala nveewo. Nga mama nga ngamba, your dad really loves you. He really loves you.
Just imagine, now you see it.
Yes, now I start seeing him. Yes, at the end of his life. I start seeing it.
The yearning for you, the longing for you.
Yes.
And not just the money, because he would have told you, go work and send the money.
No.
But he wants your presence.
Yes, he wanted me there the entire time. So time came when life became really hard.
And that shows that even when you harbored a bit of resentment while you were growing up, the few things that happened, they didn't affect how you respected him.
No, nothing of that changed.
So it didn't trickle into the visible actions.
No.
Yes, you had it in the depth of your heart.
But
you
my
didn't
actions,
have much conversation, but your actions showed that you're still a child.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. I did.
That's very important.
So what I did, I took care of him, did everything. There is nothing about home chores I don't do. There is nothing. So I told Mom Omani, be indicated. So I'd wake up very early in the morning, prepare porridge for him. By the time he's waking up, there is porridge. At 8, then at 10 he has tea. Then time na duka.
You give him medicine.
I give him medicine. Wow, these are the things that I was missing when I left your place.
Wow.
Kati one day.
Now he's opening up.
Yes. One day chintika. He tells my mom, but he wants me to stick to the last day. Kati omanyi tuli balokole. Obalokole sometimes tuchisusa.
I know. Yes. We become crazy.
Yes.
The faith bit of it takes
sometimes
over.
tuchisusa. And I'm like, you know what? I have a family to run back to. I have a business to go check out. Because I kept on receiving orders even when I was away. But we have loyal people in our lives. So I'm like, no. Which last one? The last moment that you're talking about is when you rise up on your feet and start walking again.
And start moving.
Yes. Now, his condition continues deteriorating and all that. We have prayers. We have him go hospital to hospital. Sending us a guau. Jukiro fulumya.
I know. Tokola.
Toyingiza.
Family jeri.
Nemusajja tamanyi kusabiriza. So I'm like, life becomes hard. Relatives tosobola bakubira. Remember, I'm raised in a family where relatives bwakulaba ng'omutuukiride bw'ote bamanyi ogenze musabiriza. Even when you just want to connect with them and all that. Nga twesonyiwa aba relatives. Olaba nti ekirevu nkisanirira n'enkola ki. Natuuka ekiseera nga ninga walk street.
Nga bikusobedde.
Nga binsobedde ng'obulamu butabuse. Siinayo nti oba muganda gwengendo gamba nti chi of course agenda kuleta ebiri agenda kuleta ye 5 bane 10 agwemu nesende sigala zifuluma in all that because the condition kept on deteriorating.
I know kunywa eddagala balina omukeberako
yes
ko mulwanirira bulamu
yes and being someone that wangobadde bino byonna byaliwo yatutuusizza wano wetuli.
I know
yatutuusizza wano wetuli.
The gratitude.
Yes so I put everything aside. I put my life on hold just to tend to his. So I be there for him. And then one morning, you have the right to everything. You have the right to everything. No one should tell you otherwise. Now, like I told you earlier on, about people keep on coming up with ideas. Now, there is a cousin brother of his, a distant cousin brother of his, that went through a similar condition. So I think he went and sought help somewhere, somehow. So one of my uncles, ngakuba esimu ngagamba, soko okubira gundi esimu naye yalina similar condition.
Ajabagamba
yagenda. Ngamba manyi. Now, my dad yali Protestant. Nga mulokole si mulokole bulungi. Nga Protestant yali awo tategerekeka. Kubanga ye musajja ate yogera kunyo nga tusobola okutuula no mu room n'asirika. Ne mwogera ne munyumya ne museka n'asirika ndoza n'ekyebweru n'ekyamagye kyali kimuyingidde mu nnyo nga tava mu bigambo. So ne ngamba naye kangende mubuuza ne mubuuza muzeeyi. Okukkiriza Katonda okumira eddagala then n'okugenda eri mbasawo tukoleko ki. Nangamba gw'oyagala ki. Nambuuza gw'oyagala tukole ki. Namugamba asinze mulwadde. Gwe mulwadde. Oyagala tukole ki. Nangamba tusigale Katonda. Tusigale Katonda. Mira eddagala. Namira eddagala. Fast forward ne bitabuka awo. We took him to a hospital on it was a Thursday. Tutuuka mu ddwaliro twatuukira mu emergency nga bamuadmitinga nga batandika nga takyalya because time came nga would grind the medicine nga bwe twakolanga nga tukyali bato grind the medicine, you know, mix it up with a little sugar or water n'omuwa n'anywa because time came nga tetubitegeera
tomanyi oba eddagala likola enjawulo
turunninze tests zonna tebalaba kiki kimutuukako. TB naye aba awonye by then kuba yali ku ddagala for some good time naye nga he becomes anemic every now and then. Bamwongeramu omusaayi ne gumugwamu ne tumuwa buli kimu kyonna ne bigwamu. So time comes nga bamuadmitinze mu ddwaliro nabeeranga mu ddwaliro nga seebaka. I would not sleep. I would stick with him the entire time. Now, he had started having speech impairments. He had started having unconscious moments. When he becomes unconscious. And then, nga tabitegeera. Naye nga mmanyi, nga mu bantu bonna mu bintu byonna ammanyi. Nga tayagala muve ku lusegere, tayagala ne baganda bange. Nga yayagala nze. So I stayed in the hospital Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Nali sinabye nga ndaba nkisusiza ne mugamba muzeeyi I can't take care of you if I'm not sane and if I'm not okay.
Fresh.
Yes, I'm not fresh. Let me go home, try at least and shower, get some rest, and then I'll come back. He accepts. I leave our second last born ku ddwaliro. I get home on Sunday. Nenzirayo ku routine yange kuteeka byakulya ne byakunywa nzije. So I come at around 11. Nayomba nayogera oluzungu. You've not been around. I've been looking for you. Where have you been? You're only moving around. You're only walking up and down. I can't find you. Yali musajja ng'ayagala nnyo oluzungu ate ng'alwogerera ddala. You're just walking up and down. I'm sorry.
I'm here now.
I'm sorry, yes, I'm here now. I had gone to freshen up kubanga I can't take care of you if I'm not okay. You said nga bamuteekamu cannula agikuulamu, so you have to stay awake the entire night to make sure that he doesn't pull it out. This is a watch. He also had PTSD from the military and all that. He had PTSD. So so it's like, okay. So I'm like, since I've come, let me have breakfast out very fast. I had my cousin sister come around. So I'm like, let me talk to her and then I'll come back. And it's like, okay, don't stay long. Nemfuluma. Mbana akafuluma bwe nsinaba nakutuula wansi. Ngamba soko je. Ngamba when I see you around, don't go. When I see you around, I feel my life is simplified. I feel life is mbuliranga obulamu bukomyewo. Gampitamu. Gampitamu. But nga bw'onoobeera obeera n'omulwadde nga toyagala kumulaga. Yes. Bwe gampitamu. Mugamba no, it's okay. Wendi.
I'm here.
The entire time when I was in the hospital with him, nga mukwata mu ngalo wendi. Nga simuta. Ne bwe mba nga nsumagira ntya nga mukutte mu ngalo wendi. Just to make him feel
that you're here. I'm close to you.
I'm here with him. When I come back from talking to my sister, because I stepped out immediately after that, when I talked to her, I'm like, you know what, omulwadde ayagala mbeere naye. Ngamba okay. ngankomonga ngamba, I want to talk to you. Nechintikirawo.
You knew something is off.
Mtima ndikungamba. In that moment, mtima ndikungamba, release your dad.
Wow.
In that moment, when he told me I want to talk to you, in that moment, in that
you felt
instant,
it.
something just told me, release your dad. So we have this conversation. Nasika neka recorder, a simo, like a small phone. I started recording. Natandika okungamba buli kimu. Bwe yamala okwogera buli kimu, nangamba, would you have any questions or anything you want to tell me? Namugamba, Dad, the truth is, yes, I have things I want to tell you. But first, let me ask you these questions. The firstborn, you get to ask everything. Assets, property, what, everything, money, relatives, and all that. I get to ask all these things. When I ask all these things, the truth is, I have held you in my heart for a very long time. I told him. That now, the most surprising part is this. My dad had been unconscious 2 days
prior to that.
Prior to this conversation.
And now he's fully awake.
And now he's fully awake. And he tells me, raise my bed. He had been lying down the entire time. I have this conversation with him. And I'm like, I've held you in my heart for a very long time. But today I want to tell you that I forgive you. From the depth of my heart, I have forgiven you. And I meant it for the first time.
You felt like it was a complete release.
It was a complete release.
What did he say?
Nasirika. Namugamba, I have forgiven you. Namugamba, I also stand here as the firstborn of your family. I stand here as a representation of your entire family. If there is anything that we have done or said that may have hurt you or turned you off in any way, forgive us.
Wow.
Yangamba chimu okay. Namugamba, no, Dad. Namugamba, no.
Say it.
Say the words. Nangamba, no. Nangamba, tell me what I should say. Namugamba, no.
Say what you feel.
Say what you feel. He didn't say anything. He prayed.
He prayed?
Yes. He prayed. I could see remorse. I could see...
The pride was still in there?
Yes. I could see him...
struggle?
Yes. But he prayed. Nasava.
Which meant something?
Which meant everything.
A lot, yeah.
It meant everything for me.
Yeah.
When he prayed, then he was like... Then we all said amen. Then the lady that I was with burst in tears and she went out. Then he was like, okay, lay me back down. I rest. That was the last conversation I had with my dad.
When you put him down?
When I put him down, we never talked again.
Wow.
That evening, I forced him to eat. I raised him up again to give him gravy. And then he took just a little. Then he never talked again. I cried for him on Monday. I mourned on Monday.
Before he died?
Yes, then he passed on Tuesday.
But for you, you had already seen the signals?
I had already seen it.
That this is
I have never cried since then. I cried on Monday. He passed on Tuesday. And
you went into full-blown preparation as a firstborn?
Yes. I had made sure everything, I made all the arrangements. Family affair. Now, when my dad passes on, an uncle comes from the village with it was about 300,000 that he had come to pick the body and take my dad and bury him. I'm sorry to say that here.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Yeah. I told him you're not going to bury
That's what you felt.
I told him you're not going to bury my dad like a dog. I'm going to bury my dad the way I know.
The way he deserves.
The way he deserves, with pride.
Yeah.
I made preparations. Newa time, newa span of 8 days. And I gave my dad the best burial anyone has ever received in our family. Not even my uncle, John the late. He didn't receive such kind of a burial. So I made sure my dad rested well, really well.
Wow.
And he died
Peaceful.
a very peaceful death. Because the entire time he told me, don't leave me.
His wish was you being around.
Yes.
Wow.
Now, funny Pete. My mom would come during daytime. Now that night, I don't know what happened. She hung around. Not on the next bed. Now, as she's busy praying, she's a very prayerful warrior. As she's busy praying, iranze muita general ali mukusaba mzee yasse mirundi esatu chup na asirika neyebaka amanga agenda okumaliriza okusaba mzee yebasenda omudenda a very peaceful death. So last year was more of learning forgiveness for me, and I get to learn.
That was a huge, a life lesson.
It's a life lesson.
A liberating.
Yes, it's my best lesson. I think it's one of the lessons that I can call my best lessons.
Especially with someone you love. You know, when someone you're not connected, as in business, but blood relation. And now it becomes even harder when you are the firstborn
yes.
to a man that holds his pride. You know how men believe they are? That was very huge.
It was.
Very huge.
So I get to learn that forgiveness has more to do with the forgiver than the person that is meant to be forgiven.
The liberation comes to you.
And I get to learn that I don't need your consent for me to forgive you.
Wow.
I don't need your consent.
That's powerful.
It must come from within.
Because you're the one
myself.
Releasing.
Yes.
You're letting go.
Yes.
You're writing it off.
Yes. Now I get to read the scriptures where Paul asks Jesus that, Master, should we forgive 70 times? And Jesus says, no. Forgive 70 times 7 times. Now, kadimfuna okubikulirwa. Ndi Yesu chiyategeeza. Nti okusonyiwa is not forgetting.
Yeah.
It is not, I have forgiven you, and life moves on. No, okusonyiwa is, I forgive you now. Tomorrow when I remember
I should
what
let
you
it
did,
go still.
I forgive you again. Paka, bwentuukirako mirundi egyo nga sikyasobola na kujjukira nti gundi yankosa bw'ati. Nga it has become normal, nga kya bulijjo. So that's what I get to learn last year. Nti okusonyiwa kunnyamba okusinga.
Gw'osonyiwa.
Yes.
Wow. I don't know, if you've not gained from this story, I have learned a lot. I have learned a lot not to take for granted the small wishes that people have, even just to create peace for another person, even when they're in their time of passing, even when you need to release and forgive something that you have held in your heart for a very long time. Sometimes twesonyiwa instead of okusonyiwa.
Yes.
Ate buli wesonyiwa, you're holding it.
Yes.
Bw'osonyiwa, you're releasing it and you're telling yourself you deserve the freedom, and God gives you the freedom that you actually need. So we're really, really grateful. This was very power-packed. I know that it's going to liberate so many families and so many people, and there are fathers that have been watching this that will know better to break and to be able to be remorseful, to even ask for forgiveness before that time comes.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
And to know that in the daily things, so there are so many things that we do without even knowing that we've actually done. So we're really grateful to Akibs, and I know that when we get more time, we will definitely have something to learn from him. I know that he has lived many lives. By the time he has gone through this takes strength for him to actually go through this, to be here to tell us of this story, and we are so grateful. So from us to you is bye-bye.